Hello everybody, Chris Rice Killatia here at Pax South 2018, and we're speaking with Terry of Sabotage Game. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, and today, right now, we're talking about the Messenger here. So tell us a little bit about the story of this game.
Yeah, so the Messenger tells the story of a ninja that needs to carry a scroll across his curse of the world to take it all the way to the top of the furthest mountain. Otherwise, everyone will die. So high stakes, right? So it's an epic story, and it's very tongue-in-cheek also. There's a lot of humor in the game. So we're trying to establish this kind of contract with gamers where, since we acknowledge the cheesier aspect of these stories through humor, then it becomes okay for the both of us to indulge in an epic storyline. So yeah, the game starts off with a simple premise, simple story. So it's a linear action platforming, 8-bit. You go through the level, beat the boss, get a few upgrades along the way. But when you reach the mountain after a few hours, you think that's where the game will end, right? Because you brought the scroll to the mountain. But then something happens and the game explodes into 16 bits. And that's where you have a few additional levels, and then you loop back to the beginning of the game in the future, which the 16-bit supports visually. And now you give the scroll on to the next messenger. So you realize it kind of was all a loop. And then there's a second quest to the game, which is more of a kind of a Metroidvania, if you will, where you're looking for hidden areas, new levels, new bosses, and it is all a hunt for magical music notes in order to create a melody that will break the curse.
Right, and I know that in the game that we played, you can actually jump right after you attack that shot, almost like ninja-like.
Right, yeah. So we call it cloud stepping. So there's no double jump in the game, but basically whenever you, hey, that's Mr. Broadstone. So whenever you attack something in the air, you get another jump. And so if you can pull it off 20 times in a row, then you're just in the air for all that time. And so at first, because we're very much looking at speedrunners with this title, and so we want to give them the tools, so eventually you get a wingsuit that gives you a downward attack, and you can also combine that, so gliding, attacking, jumping again, and then glide again. You also have a horizontal grappling hook to hit enemies from the distance, you pull yourself to them, and also to the walls. And so it becomes a sort of dance, right? And we figured it should look like you're a ninja when someone is playing. So the idea is to see what performances and we can get out of the more hardcore players.
I didn't see it in my gameplay, but apparently there's also this cute little devil dude that follows you whenever you die.
Yeah, Quarble. So yeah, so at Sabotage, what we do is we're shooting for games with retro aesthetics and modern game design, right? So we explore titles that we loved. And we try to create really good moment-to-moment gameplay, but then everything that's a system in the game shouldn't just be a system. It should have flavor. So for instance, yeah, Quarble, as you point out, lives and continues that didn't really age well, right? So but you still need a penalty for dying, otherwise the challenge can lose almost all of its meaning. So what happens when you die is we have this greed demon who basically stops time and teleports you out of the situation, back to the latest checkpoint that you hit. And then he follows you around, he sticks around kind of like a dunce cap, and he steals your loot until the debt is repaid, and then he writes you off on his little notepad and he leaves. He can also leave if he's bored. He's kind of random, but yeah.
Okay, so we know that it's coming up for PC later this year. Were there any other platforms that were being considered?
We have nothing to announce so far for consoles, being indie, so we know for sure that we're doing PC and Steam, but after that it will really depend on whether or not it picks up. But if we do get the resources to do it, we absolutely want to get this game in the hands of anyone who wants to play it.
Okay, and when should we expect the game to be released?
This summer on PC through Steam. It's already up there for as a wish list item, but it's not up for pre-order yet. We still have a few things to work on before we do that.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Terry.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and keep it here for more Pax South coverage.